Hey, we are getting ready to go into the Dollar Tree, see what kind of things they have. The only reason why I picked Dollar Tree is because everybody has a Dollar Tree close by pretty much. If some of these items such as the muffin tin, the mixers, the whisk and all that, you could probably pick up anywhere pretty inexpensively. You could go to a thrift store. I'm not going to buy a muffin tin because I already have one, but we're going to go ahead and see what they got. And I know sometimes their boxes are a little smaller than the grocery store. So if you can get them at your grocery store on sale for when they go on sale for like 99 cents or whatever, I would grab them. But we will go inside and see what they've got. Here we are at my local Dollar Tree. So it looks like we're in luck. They have just about everything we need. As you can see, the Dollar Tree had everything we needed. I am inserting some photos from Walmart where you can pick up some items every now and then, a little bit cheaper. So just be aware of that and shop around. Hello. So I'm going to make the cake like I promised in the video before. And I did get all of the items from the dollar store. I bought a pudding to go into it from the dollar store, which you can do. But then when I went to my local Super One, I found a vanilla pudding for 98 cents. So I'm going to save the other pudding for some other thing. So we're doing a traditional white. I'll turn around here in a second. And what I'm going to do is how we talked about how everybody loves having the smash cake for their little ones for their first birthday. And you can do a big cupcake. You could do a cupcake. And as like I said, all the items in the other video you can get at the Dollar Tree. I did find these little tins. They come in a 3-pack. There's the label. I think I showed it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and push down the little thing for the lid because they have lids that come with them. And we're gonna make the little smash cake in that. And we're gonna make some cupcakes. And I'm going to put in pictures of all the items I found that you could get at Walmart. If you don't wanna go to the Dollar Tree, there are plenty of items there you can get pretty cheap too. I don't have a Walmart here. The closest Walmart's 30 minutes away. So that's why we didn't do Walmart. So let's get to baking. And I have a traditional white cake. You can do yellow. If you do white, you're gonna have to use egg whites. So you're gonna waste yolks. So I already had them because of something else I make that needs extra cookies, chocolate chip cookies. I need an extra egg yolk. So I saved the whites. And then you can buy, oops, sorry for that close up. You can buy frosting at the Dollar Tree like we showed. However, you don't have to. I prefer making my own buttercream. So if you would like a little tutorial on how to make homemade buttercream, which is much better, you get a lot more than this little itty bitty thing, I can do that. It's really simple and it's delicious. We're gonna do our traditional box cake mix. I personally would prefer to make it from scratch. That's just me because I like to know what I'm consuming. So, but we're just gonna do this because I know a lot of times people aren't used to baking, and that's where we're starting. We're starting with beginner baking because you can do it. Anybody can make a cake. You just have to be patient. You have to make sure that if you're forgetful, you set a timer on your phone in case you go do something else. You set the timer on your oven, something that will trigger you to remember to go get it out of the oven. Do not increase the temperature. Baking is a science. High heat does not mean it's gonna bake faster. You're just gonna burn it faster. So those are just my little tips. Sometimes I know we all get impatient. We want it to cook a little faster. It doesn't work. You see here, the instructions call for water, oil, and 4 egg whites, and we need to preheat our oven. Shouldn't take too long. I just got done getting this glorious piece out, so my oven should be pretty warm still. Isn't she beautiful? Sorry, sidetracked. Down here, it shows you all the different pans you can do it in. So we're not gonna do 24 cupcakes. You can. We're gonna do the smash cake and then we're gonna do some cupcakes. So you can mix it up. So, and then I just noticed down here, I don't box cake very often. It does say you can use 3 whole eggs for the egg whites. However, if you do that, you are going to not have a white cake. The reason why that's white is because of the egg yolks. Once we put the yolks in, it's gonna turn yellow. So just be forewarned if you're wanting a white cake. Here's my egg yolks from before. I saved them in my little Pampered Chef. Shout out Pampered Chef. Not sponsored, but I do love these little glass containers. I see so many people say, what is the difference between a liquid measuring cup and a solid measuring cup? We are going to show you right now. If you don't have the liquid, you can do your best, but let me show you what the difference is. I just filled up a solid 1 cup measuring cup, not solid, but for flour, sugar, that type of thing. Right here, I'm going to pour it into my liquid one I have right here. It's easier to transfer over to whatever you're using than trying to use the other. And a lot of times with the liquid measuring cups, you're needing to melt the butter, you need to warm up the milk, you need to warm up the cream, and you can't do that in a metal one. I mean, you can, it's just you're gonna end up making a bigger mess. So you can warm up the butter, oil, milk, cream, whatever you're trying to warm up a lot easier. And like I said, it's easier to take from the sink to the bowl if you have the one with the spout. That's the biggest difference. You're just gonna make a bigger mess. And you can't like put it in the microwave because they're metal. I have my oil ready to go in. I already put my water in. I put my egg whites in. So we're going to, and yes, I have a stand mixer. I bake a lot, so it makes more sense for me. You can mix your cake mix by hand. You can mix it with a whisk. You can do it with a hand mixer. You can mix it however. Just be careful anytime you're mixing anything with flour that you don't overwork the flour. That's what causes things to get kind of tough. So I did just throw this in too. You don't have to do it, but I did it. It did change the color, which I knew it would. It's not gonna be as white. It turned yellow, which I could have just used the other. But it's gonna make it a lot more moist. So that is optional. Use any flavor you want. If you get a chocolate cake, you can put chocolate pudding in. You can put anything, banana, whatever you like. Got her all mixed together. A few little specks I gotta get in, but those will get those in before I put them in the pan. So let me get my mix. All my liners in. You can, like I said, I'm gonna put pictures. You can get liners anywhere. So I got 12. It's supposed to make 24, but remember we're making our little smash cake. So we're gonna go ahead and get these filled up. If you're not sure on the cupcakes, oops, I need it to zoom out. There we go. It says half full. So you're gonna make sure, whoops, that you only fill this half full. You can go a little higher. There's going to be a little more rounded, which is fine. I usually go 2/3, but if you're just not sure, just go half. Okay, so then you're asking, how do I get it out of the bowl into whatever vessel you're using to cook it in? Depends on the bowl you're using. My bowl has a spout. I could use it. However, I could go to my liquid measuring cup and use that. You can use a gravy ladle, you can use a spoon, you can use whatever you got. Just get it in there. Or I completely fill my cupcakes, which some of them are a little over full. I'll show you how to get those out. I'm gonna go ahead and get the smash cake going. So I'm gonna fill this about 2/3. I went ahead and sprayed some oil in here. You can take a paper towel and just wipe a little, whatever type of cooking oil you have inside so it doesn't stick as bad if you're gonna take it out of the tin. If you're not, then it's not as huge a deal. It's completely up to you. Got the smash cake tin filled, so I'm gonna finish filling these and adjust them a little bit. So I have everything in, and I had to pull a muffin cup, paper out, sorry, because I didn't have enough batter, because it depends on how full you fill them, depends on how many cupcakes you have. So if you're needing a lot of cupcakes and you don't have enough money to be able to go beyond, go ahead and fill them half. If you don't have that many people coming and you want bigger cupcakes, you're gonna fill them a little fuller. So I'm gonna show you the ones that I have that are, well, there's 1/2, there's one that's 2/3, and there's one that's 3/4. The liner is that full. And you don't have to spray the liners, that's why you use the liners. If you're using a silicone muffin tin or anything like that, if you're putting them straight in the muffin tin, yeah, you're gonna need to spray them because you don't want them to stick to the metal. Okay, my muffin tin is well used. So this one is 1/2, this one is 2/3, and this one is 3/4. You can see they're kind of a little bit different. So we'll see how full they get. Big, how much they rise when they bake. They're in the oven's been preheated. Be careful when you go to put that one in because it kind of folds. So grab it with both hands, otherwise it's gonna be on the ground. And we'll see you in a bit. Just thought I'd say that if you didn't want to do the muffin tin and you had bought the 3-pack of the little foils, you could use those. Most definitely, you could fill all 3 of those and make yourself 3 little individual cakes. You can make one little smash cake and then put the other 2 cakes together, one on top of the other. That's getting a little more detailed. If you want to know how to do that, let me know. And we can do a little decorating of a small cake. Just say, give me a thumbs up, and we can go ahead and do that. Give me a thumbs up and comment cake, buttercream, if you want to know how to do those 2 things in one of the other videos. Which one or both, we can do them. Okay. Remember I said, set a timer on your oven or on your phone to remind you to get it out of the oven. You don't want to overcook it because it will get dry. So we want to keep an eye on it. I will show you how to test it. All you need is a toothpick. So you can get fancy testers or like metal things, but you can use a toothpick. Okay, timer's calling. Let's go check the cupcakes. This is what they're looking like. That one's definitely gonna take longer because it's bigger, so, I need to clean my oven. Oh, I'm gonna test them in just a second, but you can see this one that was really full. This was 3/4, 2/3, and 1/2. The big difference. Most of these were 2/3. I like them a little more domed. Okay, so toothpick, center. It's clean. That means the cupcake is done. Yep, that one's done too. Okay, we're just gonna let those cool. On the cooling rack, you could throw them on top of a couple of, these things. I think they're called hot pads. Throw them on top of there. With the muffin tin, it's got air that goes through it anyways, so we're just gonna give a few minutes to cool. I want to say that you need to know your oven. Ovens all cook differently. My oven cooks pretty even, but I usually will check it. So you'd want to make sure if you're just starting to use that particular oven. I did mine for 20 minutes. Say let's do 10 minutes, 15 minutes, go check it. And if they're done, pull them out. Don't go the whole 20 minutes. It's a learning curve when you do different, when you have a new oven, if you move into a new place, if you replace your oven, there's lots of variables. So it's just kind of a learning. Like I said, always set your timer. I got my timer going for the other cake. Threw it in for another 10 minutes and I'll check it. There's another angle. You can see how much they rose. This is the one that was only 1/2. The rest of these were all 3/4. 2/3, and this one was 3/4 back there. So you can see how much more it domed. Okay, I just checked the other cake and you can see it is not quite done. See, this is what it looks like when it's still doughy inside. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to turn off the oven. I'm gonna set the timer and then I will come back and check it again. It will continue to cook because the heat is in there. Turn the oven off and I put it in for 5 more minutes just with the oven off, and got a new toothpick and it is completely clean. So just a little bit of patience. Now I'm gonna pull it out and let it cool off. Okay, we have baked our cupcakes. Now we're gonna learn how to frost them if you do not want to use store-bought frosting. So you can buy these little guys at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. It's not a lot, it's probably enough for what we have. Once your cupcakes are completely cooled, you're just going to go into your frosting, get some on your knife, and just smooth it around. You don't have to get fancy. That's it. Throw some sprinkles on it and you're good to go. Happy partying. And another little trick, so like if I were to throw sprinkles on top of this frosting right now, you're gonna see that it's gonna kind of, some will stick, but some are gonna bounce off. So if you wanna make sure you have a good coverage of sprinkles, you're gonna take, you don't have to do it in the container it came in, you can grab another little container, put some sprinkles in it, whatever you want, and you're just gonna dip it. And you're gonna get your good coverage of sprinkles. Okay, all my sprinkles are on my cupcakes and all over my counter. And then I just sprinkled a little bit on top of this cake. Like I said, you can decorate it more and we can get into that, on how to do that. Now that it's all that's left is to eat a cupcake. Cheers.